Hi everyone. 8 years ago I recorded a video of myself playing Sufjan Stevens' Futile Devices on my ukulele, and since that time I've had many requests to record a tutorial showing you how I play that version of the song. And over the last couple of months there's been even more requests. I guess people are in quarantine picking up new hobbies, and ukulele is one of those hobbies that they've started to pick up and they want to learn, and they've stumbled across my video and want a tutorial. So being in quarantine myself, I decided that now is the perfect opportunity to make that tutorial. And I apologize to those of you that have been waiting for 8 years, but good things come to those who wait. And here it is. Here's my tutorial of Sufjan Stevens' Futile Devices. So there are two key things that we're going to go through with this tutorial. The first is the finger picking pattern that is used throughout the song. So it's an 8-note pattern that just repeats itself over and over and over again from start to finish in the song. And then the second thing we're going to do is we're going to actually play the notes that go with that finger picking pattern. So to start with the finger picking, as I mentioned, it's an 8-note sequence. I will play through that and show you as best I can which string I'm playing and with which finger, and then after that we will add the notes to that to develop the song as it goes. So the finger picking pattern, to make that easy, I will number the strings. So string 1, string 2, string 3, and string 4. So string 1 is the top string, and string 4 is the string that's closest to you. And we'll start by playing this open without any fingers on the frets, just so that I can show you the pattern and you can get that down before we start adding the notes. So the way that I play this is with my middle finger I pick string 1, with my index finger I pick string 2, with my thumb I pick string 4, with my index finger I pick string 3, with my thumb I pick string 4, with my index finger I pick string 2, with my middle finger I pick string 1, and with my index finger I pick string 2. So played completely in sequence it looks something like this. And this time I'll play that while saying which string that I'm playing. So 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2. And that pattern repeats itself throughout the entire song. So again, with which finger that I'm using, because I do think this is the easiest way to play it. Middle finger on string 1, index finger on string 2, thumb on string 4, index finger on string 3, thumb on string 4, index finger on string 2, middle finger on string 1, and index finger on string 2. And again, I'll play that through. And what I'll do this time, I'll say the number of the string I'm playing as well, but we'll speed up over the time, and I'll show you what it gets to once you are able to develop your skill and play that finger picking pattern over and over again, and I'll play it at the tempo that I play the song. 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2. And so it's best just to repeat that. Start slow, pick up your speed as you go along until you can play it at a tempo that you're comfortable singing and playing at. It doesn't have to match Sufjan's tempo, it doesn't have to match my tempo, just play how you enjoy to play it. So once you have that finger picking pattern down, it's time to add the actual chords that you play with that finger picking pattern. And then in this song there are 4 chords throughout, but there are 3 main chords that run the whole way through the song, and then there is a 4th chord that's introduced later in the song. So the first of those chords is G minor 7, and the way that I play that is my pinky is on the 8th fret on the first string, my ring finger is on the 6th fret on the second string, and then my index finger is on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and it'll look a little something like that. So you've got 8th fret, 6th fret, 2nd fret. And then with that chord and your hand in that position, you just play that same finger picking pattern that we've already learnt, and it'll sound something like this. And in the actual song, you'll repeat that pattern twice, so it'll sound like this. Then the second chord that we do, so we'll keep our hand in the same position, and we'll call this chord 2, it's C7 suspended 4. All you're doing is you're lifting your second finger, your index finger, off the fretboard altogether. So your pinky finger stays the same, your ring finger stays the same, and then the top 2 strings closest to you are left open. And again, you play that same finger picking pattern that we've already learned, and it'll sound something like this. And you'll play that chord once, and then you'll move to the third chord, which is the C7, and all you're doing there, it's the same as chord 2, except your pinky finger, which is currently on fret 8, will slide down to be on fret 7. And then again, the other 2 strings will be left open and your ring finger doesn't move. So it'll sound something like this. And you play through that once. So what you're doing is you're playing chord 1 twice through with the finger picking pattern, chord 2 once through with the finger picking pattern, and chord 3 once through with the finger picking pattern. So you have this 4 sequence pattern, chord 1, chord 1, chord 2, chord 3, that repeats itself throughout the majority of the song. And putting it together, I'll play it through a couple of times so you get an idea of what it sounds like. It'll sound something like this. So chord 1, chord 1, chord 2, chord 3, and again, I won't speak over the top of it this time. And as I said, that plays throughout the majority of the song, but there is a 4th chord that is introduced after the line, I would say I love you, but saying it out loud. And it comes in when Sufjan sings, is hard after that line. And we'll call this chord chord 4. It's a D sharp with an added 9th. But again, you don't move your hand too much from the position it's currently in. All you're doing, it's the same as chord 1 we learnt. So get your fingers into the chord 1 position. But all you're doing is you're sliding your index finger from the 2nd fret up to the 3rd fret. So your pinky's on fret 8 on the 1st string, your ring finger's on fret 6 on the 2nd string, but now your index finger is on fret 3 of the 3rd string. And it'll sound something like this. And then all you're doing, that becomes the first bar of the sequence, and then you're playing chord 1 for 1 bar, chord 2 for 1 bar, and chord 3 for 1 bar. So you'll play this new chord that we've learnt, which we'll call chord 4, chord 4, chord 1, chord 2, chord 3. Now, putting that new sequence together, it'll sound something like this. And I'll play that again, but I'll sing the transition where it happens in the song so you can get an idea of how it sounds with the words as well. So we start with the original pattern that we learnt. So back with your chord 1. And And I would say I love you, but saying it out loud, change is hard, so I won't say it at all. And then that new 4-chord sequence continues for the rest of the song. And that's basically all you need to know about the song. So you have that 3-chord sequence played with the finger picking pattern, and then you introduce that 4th chord to the sequence with the same finger picking pattern. The only other thing you need to know is at the end of the song, I like to strum a chord to signify the end when Sufjan sings "Words are futile devices." And all you're doing there is you're playing that same chord chord pattern that we've learnt. So starting with the new one with your index finger on fret 3. And it'll sound something like this if you sing it. So all you're doing there, you're playing the same 4-chord sequence with that new chord. So you're going from chord 4 to chord 1, but then you're skipping chord 2 and you're just ending on chord 3 as a strummed chord. So that's your pinky on fret 7 and your ring finger on fret 6. So with the words, it'll sound something like this. Words are futile devices. And that's basically it. You just put that all together with the words. It's a great song to play on ukulele. I think it really does show off what the ukulele can do and how beautiful the ukulele can sound with what I think is a fairly simple finger picking pattern. And I know in my original video that was hard to see because it was out of shot, but hopefully you have a better idea of what it looks like now. And I apologize to those of you again that waited 8 years for this video. Good things come to those who wait, and I hope you can use this video and enjoy playing the song. It's a beautiful song. Thanks.